This episode of Dan 3.0 is brought to you by Squarespace. Hello Pogo Tribe! First things first, the Los Angeles Dan 3.0 road trip gathering is happening tomorrow. October 30th, 2010 from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. I will be hosting a gathering for all D3PO viewing Los Angeles in front of the Griffith Observatory. There's a link in the doobly-doo to the observatory's website. Check it out, figure out a way to get there, and I will see all y'all tomorrow. Also, I will be hosting a gathering this Monday, November 1st in San Francisco at Golden Gate Park. Now we're still waiting on final word as to where exactly in Golden Gate Park it's going to be, but it's going to be one of the picnic areas, either Pioneer East Meadow or Peacock Meadow. That gathering will also be from 2 to 5 p.m. and a little birdie told me that San Francisco public schools are not in session this Monday, so you don't really have any excuse. You've got to be there. Now, we are embarking on this epic coast-to-coast road trip this weekend, and the road trip in and of itself will provide plenty of epic footage with which we can produce plenty of epic episodes of Dan 3.0. But just because we'll be working on the large task that is the road trip doesn't mean that we don't also want to be completing some smaller tasks as well. The problem is that as it stands right now, the decision engine doesn't have a whole lot of small tasks submitted to it that would be doable while on the road, but you guys have the capacity to fix that. Head on over to Dan3.0 and start submitting and voting on small things that we can do in supplement to the road trip. Bear in mind that we're going to be driving a whole heck of a lot and we're going to be under some time crunches to get to cities before the next gathering, so we can't do tasks like the free hugs task, for example, but we could do tasks like, I saw one in the decision that said something sing for an entire day. That's totally doable on the road. Use your noggin, stuff like that. For all of the latest information as to the Dan 3.0 road trip gathering locations and times, you can check out the official Dan 3.0 blog at dan3.0.squarespace.com. And in case of last minute changes, it would also probably be a good idea to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter tag is twitter.com/dbuniverse. Anywho, in the D3PO episode entitled Stuff and Things, I talked about how you guys had voted up in the decision engine that you wanted to see more topical videos out of me. And since then, I have not done a topical video, but today that is going to change. The highest rated topical video idea submitted on my YouTube channel's moderator module was submitted by YouTube username JHP Studios, who said, "A topic that has interested me in the past couple of weeks is Area 51. Talk about what you think is happening at Area 51. Aliens, flying ships that can fly thousands of light years away, etc., etc." Okay, so whenever getting into a discussion about aliens, the first, most fundamental question that needs to be answered is simply, do aliens exist? And on an intuitive gut level, my immediate answer is a resounding yes. I mean, it just makes sense. We know that we exist, and therefore we know that life does, in fact, sometimes naturally arise in the universe. Then consider that we are on one planet orbiting one star out of 100 billion other stars in our galaxy, out of 100 billion other galaxies in the universe. I mean, I like Earthlings and all, but I'm not inclined to think that we're so special as to being the only life forms in existence in such a freaking massive cosmic soup. Now, my gut level musings are one thing, but scientists have actually come up with an equation for guesstimating the number of alien civilizations out there that we might have a chance of coming into contact with. Just so you know, I am taking this right from Wikipedia, but the Drake equation, as it is called, states that the number of civilizations in our galaxy with which communication might be possible is equal to the average rate of star formation per year in our galaxy times the fraction of those stars that have planets times the average number of planets that can potentially support life per star that has planets times the fraction of the above that actually go on to develop life at some point times the fraction of the above that actually go on to develop intelligent life at some point times the fraction of civilizations that develop a technology that releases detectable signs of their existence into space times the length of time such civilizations release detectable signals into space. Okay, that's kind of dense, and I understand that I don't do the greatest job in the world of explaining it, but if you'd like to see a much more eloquent explanation, do a Google search for Carl Sagan Drake equation. But anyway, while obviously there is plenty of room for interpretation as to how one fills in those variables, most scientific guesstimations come up with the possibility of there being thousands upon thousands of intelligent alien civilizations within the Milky Way galaxy. Cool! But just because there are probably thousands and thousands of other intelligent civilizations out there doesn't necessarily mean that we've had any sort of contact with any other intelligent civilization out there. See, space is big. Really, really, really freaking big. Even if there are thousands or even millions of other intelligent, technologically advanced civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy, statistically speaking, the closest of them would still probably be thousands of light years away. That means that even if we knew beyond a shadow of a doubt where such a civilization existed, and even if we had the technology to hurtle through space at the speed of light, it would still take us 10, maybe 100, maybe even 1,000 human lifetimes to get there. But that's not to say that there isn't hope. Recently, there's been a fair amount of news coverage of scientists discovering planets in the Goldilocks zones of other stars. Again, this is from Wikipedia, but in astronomy, the habitable or Goldilocks zone is the distance from a star where an Earth-like planet can maintain liquid water on its surface and Earth-like life. Whoa! So okay, we are just now discovering these just right Goldilocks planets, but who's to say that an older, more advanced alien civilization couldn't have made these exact same discoveries thousands of years ago? And what if one of the planets they discovered in its star's Goldilocks zone was Earth? And what if they sent probes our way to check us out in more detail? And what if they arrived in the 1950s in southern Nevada? It is certainly possible that we have been visited by aliens, or at the very least that aliens know of our existence. But whether or not the US government has made contact, and whether or not there's a massive Area 51 conspiracy to keep everything alien-related under wraps, well, frankly, I'm not qualified to take a definitive stand one way or the other. My hunch, however, is that lots of top-secret military stuff goes on at Area 51, but that not any of it is alien-related. Human beings have a natural tendency to exaggerate, to make up and perpetuate mind-tickling legends such as the legend of Area 51. And as I see it, it makes perfect sense that the government hasn't gone out of its way to squelch those rumors, because if there is in fact top-secret military testing going on at Area 51, all the rumors about aliens being there serve as a perfect distraction from what's really going on there. So yeah, that's what I think, but I'm very curious to know what you guys think. Do aliens exist? Have we ever been contacted by them? And what's really going on at Area 51? Post a comment or video response. If you have an idea as to what I should talk about in my next Dan 3.0 topical vlog, submit it as an idea on my YouTube channel's moderator module. And real quick before I go, I want to give a great big thank you to today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is a super duper awesome website that allows its users to create super duper awesome looking blogs, portfolios, websites, whatever, no matter what their level of coding experience. And I know what I'm talking about here because the official Dan 3.0 blog is powered by Squarespace, and they have been an absolute dream to work with. They offer 24/7 customer support, they've got an iPhone app so that you can update your blog on the go, and we recently actually just updated the Dan 3.0 Squarespace to make it all road trip themey, because we're gonna use that as the home base for road trip stuff. Check it out today, and check back frequently throughout the rest of the road trip by going to dan3.0.squarespace.com. You'll get to see all of the fun adventures that Danielle and I are going on, and all of the cool features that Squarespace offers. Bookmark it. Many of the internet's highest trafficked websites are powered by Squarespace. If you want to start a Squarespace page of your own, you can go to squarespace.com and make sure you use the promo code POGOBAT when checking out to receive 10% off for the lifetime of your order. Anywho, that just about does it for me for today. Thank you so very much for watching this episode of Dan 3.0, and tune in again on Monday for the first road trip episode. Yeah!